I think beauty is magnetic, right? It's like the first pull that pulls you into a space. You know, when clients come into the spaces, we don't feel like we're in Bombay anymore.
Yeah.
And all kudos to Sarah and Sandeep for curating this. It really takes you to a different space and it
Yeah.
almost shifts your energy, and that's what we're looking at.
I want my client to feel like, wow, this is where I'd be living one day. This
Yeah.
is where what I'd be wearing. Maybe, wear the suits you guys are wearing and sit on a couch like this. I think that's what we kind of want our clients to take away.
What we're doing today is an immersive showcase across the rooms of this very home, aptly named La Prestigia. What the experiences are like in all the rooms. Hello and welcome to a very special conversation, an integral conversational piece of the legendary Soiree series of experiences. This series is all about intimate conversations that take place just before unforgettable evenings of culture, creativity, and collaboration. So we're coming to you today from the Legend by Ashar, an uber luxurious residence on Pali Hill, Bandra, that has quickly become one of the most talked about addresses in Mumbai. This isn't just another show apartment. It's a space that carries with it a sense of history and legacy, because this location housed the bungalow of the late Dilip Kumar Sahib. And tonight, this very space becomes the stage for a truly unique collaboration. I'm joined by the very lovely Ayushi Ashar. Thank you so much for being here. She's the director of the Ashar Group, the force behind this extraordinary collection of homes, and of course, my favorite, the founders of luxury fashion label Sarah and Sandeep.
Hello.
What we're doing today is an immersive showcase across the rooms of this very home, aptly named La Prestigia. Welcome to you all. So Ayushi, question for you. What was your thinking behind curating this cultural experience inside a duplex show space, like an apartment? I've never seen something like this. And what made you want to do it?
Yeah, I think both with art, when we did the first one, and now fashion, I think beauty is magnetic, right? It's like the first pull that pulls you into a space. And that's very traditional to homes as well. People want their homes to be beautiful. But beyond that, when we look at art in fashion, it has a soul, and that's what really speaks to the audience. And we thought that it's a great metaphor to have those two components coming in and really try to marry that with the soul of a home. We really wanted them to experience the soul of a home in a more artistic fashion.
Have you ever done something like this, where you've done a showcase within a home?
So we actually never have tried something like this, and the whole point was to kind of try something unique and different that was new to our customers and our clients. And when we saw the space and we met Ayushi, it was just like I think it was like a seamless integration for us.
So, how do you, put something like this together? What was the thinking, and how do you marry a legendary space like this with the legendary collection?
I think, like Ayushi said, it's just seamless to want to see a beautiful thing, whether it's a garment, whether it's the couch you're sitting on, whether it's the interiors of a space in a home like this, right? I think our clients don't only want to see product, they want to experience the product, right, in a different setting. And I think that's what we've tried to do tonight. We've tried to kind of integrate fashion and our bold and clean lines with all the beautiful interiors that exist here. And I think it'll be quite interesting to see how our clients react to that.
I know, and the thing is, it just fits. It feels like
it
this.
does.
It's
Feels
all
very
meant to
good.
be here. I'd love to know how you feel about seeing this space evolve. Like last time we had, beautiful pieces of art in the home. What did you imagine this would look like? And is it similar to or different to what you thought it would be like?
Yeah, of course, I think it's different this time around when it's fashion. But as I said, I think what we want people when they come in is we want their energy to shift. What we've often heard, when clients come into the spaces, we don't feel like we're in Bombay anymore. And I think this adds to that mood. It adds to, we have different rooms here. We've done, and all kudos to Sarah and Sandeep for curating this. Each room has a different theme, it has a different setup, and it really takes you to a different space, and it almost shifts your energy, and that's what we're looking at.
I love that. And now, since Ayushi mentioned the different spaces, can you sort of walk us through and tell us what the experiences are like in all the rooms?
So we wanted to try and make it like an art gallery viewing, firstly, and that was our main concept. And because there's so much of art in this space, I don't know if you guys have experienced this penthouse before, but it's beautifully done. And I think we want to try and capture different elements that firstly resonate with us as well as Ayushi. So I think the first concept initially was supposed to be more about adding kind of design, art deco design aesthetic to the format. And also I think Sarah was talking about how we played with the really unique fibers and fabrics. So just mixing the two in terms of presentation was in a unique format over here.
I love that. And what are you hoping that your Sarah and Sandeep consumer and clients will experience and feel when they walk through the space?
Like I said, if I were a client who'd kind of come to an event like this, I think I'm going to experience how fashion and it's aspirational. A penthouse like this, a property like this is aspirational to how you want to live, how you want to dress, and I think that's what we're trying to kind of portray here. I want my client to feel like, wow, this is where I'd be living one day. This is where what I'd be wearing. Maybe, wear the suits you guys are wearing and sit on a couch like this. I think that's what we kind of want our clients to take away from this experience, a more personalized, a more immersive experience. And I think that's the aim. Yeah.
Adding to that, right? Like, I think one of the biggest takeaways and one of the biggest reasons for this collaboration, and when I visited the Sarah and Sandeep atelier as well, I think is craftsmanship. Like, what is at the root of all of these beautiful things, whether it's a home, whether it's fashion, whether it's the suit I'm wearing, it's the soul that goes into making it. It's that attention to detail. It's the fabric that you choose. It's the materials that we choose that become part of this building, which last for a long time. It almost takes shape of the wearer, right? And I think that craftsmanship is what we really kind of resonated.
And I think today's luxury consumer is very discerning, and they have so many unique experiences around the world that they get. So I would love to know, what is your thinking behind, I'd love to hear about from the perspective of the Legend by Ashar, and I'd love to hear about your new collection as well as Sarah and Sandeep. How do you impress and wow a luxury consumer who has the best of the best at their fingertips? What's the secret?
So according to me, at least in terms of our atelier, what we realize is that kind of client wants authenticity. So they're looking at real experiences, like real design, real stories, real narratives to kind of bring that kind of correlation that they relate to in terms of what, when we're talking to a client yesterday, in fact, a client came to me and he said, I'm really looking at doing something really personal for my wedding. And he's like, can we embroider something inside that is more symbolic?
So sweet, like you do on a ring normally.
And that authenticity adds to that kind of form of luxury. So that's a point from my end.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel, I look at it very personally, like what would entice me when I'm really looking, if I were the consumer, right? And I feel gone are the days of those big flashy logos and things like that. I feel people want to in fact stir away from it, and it's more about what is really bespoke to you, where you know that you will raise eyebrows probably when you walk into a room or when you experience a space, but it's not loud in its way. It's more understated, and it still serves your needs completely. And similar example, right? We had someone who came in, one of our clients, and they wanted 2 washrooms in the master suite for his and her, because they get ready at the same time in the morning. And they want to avoid the morning fight of who would use the washroom first. And I feel that's such a practical thing. But the luxury consumer wants that. He wants to be able to dictate his life end to end, and the Legend provides exactly that.
That I feel like with as you were saying, luxury staples, I feel like people are looking for something timeless with a little spin on contemporary, which is where we found that correlation, because our design aesthetic as well as this penthouse, it's timeless, but it still has a lot of art deco involved in it. So that design language is very important in luxury.
I also I think when I walk into this apartment, and I love that I get to come here so often, it's just this massive, floor, and I think it just gives you that grandeur and space. And I'm sure you know about the legacy, but I'd love Ayushi to tell us a little bit about Dilip Saab's legacy, and how did you modernize something so iconic and legendary, literally legendary, but also keep it in mind for the young Gen Z consumer who may not know Dilip Saab's legacy to that degree. How do you integrate that? And I know there's so many elements that you have. I'd love to hear a little more about that.
the story starts with the land itself, and that's the most fascinating part actually for us as a developer, that it itself came with such rich heritage and legacy. Dilip Saab, of course, he has an illustrious career, but more than that, it's the impact that he had on cinema, on the people, on his fans. It's almost timeless in nature, and we wanted to recreate that story. That timelessness is what we wanted to preserve, and we wanted his legacy to kind of still remain in this spot and give it a modern twist. And everything from the architecture to the interiors of the space is actually inspired by his life, his personality, his achievements, his careers. And so we have these 8 angels which represent Aura di Prestigia, which is the spirit of prestige, and that actually is symbolic of the 8 awards that Dilip Saab has won in his career. And so small elements like that. We have the driveway, which is designed, taken inspiration from the Eros Theatre back in the day before it was renovated. And so just small and big elements of like that, which add a lot of story and depth and soul to the building. And it's almost like he's still here and guarding the whole building with his presence.
So, you know, when we talk a lot about attention to detail, I know what it means when it comes to my work, like no space before comma ever, or we cannot be friends. But what does it mean when you talk about building a space like this? And what does it mean when you talk about fashion? What does that attention to detail secret sauce entail for you?
So for me, I think the first thing that stands out is design. I look at that at the forefront in anything that I'm doing, whether it's a collaboration, whether it's even creating an experience like this, or whether it's just creating a particular garment. We really look at that being the standout, whether it's micro detailing. We put a lot of pin tucks and pleating in all of our pieces. Ayushi is wearing some of them, and so is Sarah and you. And you can tell from the level of detailing that there's a lot of craft and a lot of design ideology that goes into creating that piece. So that's at the forefront. What about you guys?
Yeah, design, definitely, I agree with that. And then just to add on to that, I think it's also the materials that you use. For example, this entire building, we've used about 110,000 square feet of stone, to clad the whole building. And just picking those materials, right, that adds to the timelessness. It makes the building more eternal, future ready. And so yeah, I think it's those details.
I think when we were co-curating the space, we were looking at the stones being a very important element in terms of the storytelling. And I don't know if you can see it right behind me, but there's a really cool Italian marble stone, right, if I'm not mistaken, that we wanted to kind of thematically match with. So
tell me a little bit about what you hope people take away from this experience, the first of its kind collaboration with Sarah and Sandeep and the Legend.
Yeah, for me, I think because, this is something new and different, but also intentional, right? Like, we were very intentional with this curation. So more than anything, I just hope that there is a sense of resonance for people, that they actually appreciate the craftsmanship and the attention to detail. And, right from the perfumery to the wine glasses, to the drinks that we have, everything, to the material palette, to the fabric. There's bamboo on, what I'm wearing is made out of bamboo. And so a lot of intention, a lot of natural materials that we've used. And I hope that there's a sense of resonance and understanding and appreciation for that more than anything else. And it's not anything commercial that we're looking at, right? It's more about the curation and that intention behind, and the soul behind all the details. So
earlier on, I did say that, a client wants to not only see a product, but feel the product, right? They want to experience the product, which is what we've kind of put up here. And I really hope that our clients and everyone who attends tonight kind of sees the detail and the love for craftsmanship that both Ashar and us have, and they kind of see that and take that away with and not get too drunk tonight, but yes. Yeah, but
And and the cool thing is, I think that the versatility and the kind of people that would live in a space like this and wear the clothes is going to be such an interesting combination.
Yeah.
So looking forward to starting this evening, and I'm sure you will see glimpses of what we've put together, and each one of these experiences is unique. So from the late Dilip Kumar Sahib's timeless legacy to the legend's modern vision and Sarah and Sandeep's bold new showcase, tonight is proof that true luxury is not just created, it's experienced. Thank you.